Hello. All right. We're live. All right. Welcome to this edition of At the Mic. I'm your host, Keith Malinak. So much to tell you here at the onset. We got some programming notes, so bear with me. As you know, we are, well, of course, you know, you're here. We're doing the live stream right now, starting here. And tomorrow, if you don't know, there is a playlist if you'd like to catch up, Saving Disney History. It is part 11 of 12 with the professor, Disney guru Ed McRae, walking us through some fascinating stuff. I learn so much every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, right here. Wherever you're at, that's where we'll be. Tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., part 11 of 12. Been doing this since December. A lot of fun with Ed, learning so much about Disney history and what we need to save and how to get it back on track over there. Don't forget, you can share that playlist, any episode, whatever you want. Please share it. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the bell to be notified whenever we go live with something, especially when we go live with something out of the norm. See, right now we typically do the Friday afternoon, the Saturday morning, but Monday coming up this Monday, 3 days from now, at 4 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do the worst presidents selection show. We're going to have like an NCAA basketball type bracket. So it's going to be the 16 worst presidents. And then you go to Twitter at Keith Malinak. See, it's right there. And then you're going to vote every day. There's going to be a different competition. And you're going to decide who goes to the next round. Now, I know who the tournament favorite is. Okay. And we'll discuss all of this Monday with my a guy who actually is a sports anchor, a friend of mine I've known for 20 years. Tank Spencer is going to join us for that. And we're going to analyze what got these guys into the tournament and who was on the bubble, whose bubble is going to be burst. And then you will decide who wins each matchup. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on this YouTube channel. Now, let's see. In a week from today, the same time right now, Jack Helmuth is my guest for the Friday live stream. He is part 1 of 2 of the hosts for the podcast Questionable Material. Jack and I are going to give crap to Brian Sack, who was supposed to join us, but he has something really important going on. But Brian and Jack will be back together to join me here really soon. So, speaking of someone who couldn't make it today, my friend Donnie Anthony, we had some massive storms last night here in Dallas. Jill Savage, thank you so much for making time. But Donnie's internet went out and she can't join us. But thank you, my coworker at the Blaze, Jill Savage. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. Yeah, I was unaware of all of the storms last night. Like I knew it was raining, but it wasn't bad where I am. And then we get to work today and everybody's like, oh my gosh, Frisco, Prosper, all these, the other suburbs, there's like hail and tornadoes. And I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
well,
That's news to me.
But
wasn't paying any attention last night whatsoever.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you avoided any issues like so many of Dallas but I'm like you, where I live way out west, we just had rain, but just north of us it was Armageddon with baseball size hail and stuff. I'm getting alerts on my phone and I'm looking out the window, I'm like, this doesn't match up. But I'm glad that you avoided that. Now, Jill, your background, you're obviously in tune with the news of the day and everything. You work with the Blaze, we see you all over the place. Your background, I think, predominantly is in sports broadcasting, which in another life, man, that's what I'm doing. That's fun stuff right there, huh?
Yeah, it was fun. And it's so funny when people are like, oh, sports and news, that's so different.
Ooh.
Like, really, it's not, because it's just all things that I care about and I'm passionate about. So for me, this has been my entire life, is like sports, history, politics, that whole gambit. And to just start talking about the other topics seems very natural for me. And everybody else is like, yeah, but sports, oh man, it's so different. It's just, what do I prioritize day to day? What articles am I reading first? What am I actually like getting up and trying to follow? And that's the news now.
Yeah,
and
you're on
the
top
country, like everywhere that, with the country, like all the problems that we have now.
There's a lot to talk about.
You have to at least try to do something.
I'm really frustrated because as you're talking, I had a list. I'm the most unorganized person in the world. I had a list right around here. Oh yeah, here it is. See how official this is? You are episode 71 of At the Mic, available here on this YouTube channel. Just look around. If you want to get to know Jill Savage, she's episode 71, where we went through your life and we talked about all the stuff that you're interested in. So thanks again for making time. I really appreciate it. I don't know if you saw this, but I thought I would start with a little sports type story. That Jaromir Jagr, one of the most prolific hockey players in NHL history, I think he's probably 82 years old and played until just a couple years ago. No, he's up there. He's up there, and he played forever. And man, when you start, this is the thing: when the superstars of your youth start retiring, or then when you see their kids, like Marvin Harrison Jr., coming out, going to be drafted next month, you really start to feel old. But Jaromir Jagr was that last piece of my childhood who was playing sports when I was, I don't even, I had to look this up, probably middle school, maybe. I don't know. And he played until just a couple of years ago. Anyway, in Pittsburgh, where he spent the majority of his career, they had a special night planned for him a few nights ago, and it was Jaromir Jagr bobblehead night. And then the bobbleheads went missing, and it turned out that apparently the entire truckload was stolen of Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads, which I don't know how you pull that heist off, but somewhere out there. And how do you even sell those?
They knew when this truck was coming in.
Right. I want to see if there's an update on that. Hang on a second. But seriously though, I mean, okay. Because you and I were talking earlier, and you made the great point that somebody's going to go to eBay with these. But wouldn't you not take all of them? Because now every last one of them is stolen. Maybe take a few boxes, and then they wouldn't even notice, Jill, and you'd still go make money. I don't know.
I don't know that that's the way that people think about this anymore, though. If they had the opportunity to take 100% of them.
You don't have a criminal mind.
I mean, you've seen the stores in San Francisco and like all of the different places that are just closing up shop, and they're like, we're moving out. We can't do this anymore. Well, they found their way to the, to the mean trucks of Pittsburgh.
That's right. That's right. So tomorrow is an exciting anniversary in American history. It's March 16th, which is 4 years ago. Tomorrow is 15 days to flatten the curve.
I would use a different word.
I'm sorry, 15 days to slow the spread. So what's the word you want to use?
Anything but exciting. Not exciting.
Oh, gosh, what a nightmare. And then that just kept going and going and going, and did damage that in so many areas, especially with kids, that you're never gonna get a recovery from. And boy, there's a lot of people who will never be held accountable for that tragic time in American history. So anyway, happy anniversary of 15 days to slow the spread. Anthony Fauci, I hope you're watching. And if you are, what were you saying, Jill?
Well, I was going to say one of the worst things from that whole thing is not just, all of the schools and them being shut down and all of the academic standards that, have basically been lowered because nobody was going to school and like actually learning. The hybrid work from home or you have school from home wasn't working. But then now you see stories in the news, even within this last month, where it's mainly teenage girls, not even just on antidepressants, but the suicide rate of teenage girls is going through the roof. And you would have to associate like part of COVID and the lockdowns. And then that would, almost inevitably lead them to their phones and having more free time and trying to figure out like, where am I going to get this just mutual friendship in my life? And they turn to social media, which we know is terrible for young teenage girls. And it's just the ramifications, the knock-on effects of shutting down the schools was worse than they could have ever imagined.
Okay, hold on. I was with you until the very last thing you said, because I think
it wasn't worse than that. It's worse than the regular people.
No. I was just going to say than they thought it would be. I contend there's a lot of people in all levels of government who knew exactly
No, that's right. The people in
ramifications were
government
going to
knew.
be.
The
Hmm.
people at home that were like, it's
Right.
fine, we'll leave our kids
Understood.
here, it's
Yep.
okay, the New Yorkers, whatever. But now I think even they can figure this out.
There it is, March 16th, 2020.
I always put a difference between like the regular people, the everyday Americans, and the government. The government knows what they're
doing. Absolutely. Well, yes. Yes, when they're destroying things, yes. When they're actually trying to build something or do something good for the country, no, not at all. They become the most incompetent people. Evil and incompetence are two terrible traits to have at the same time. But yeah, I mean, that era, there are experiences that our kids will never get back. That just I will never forget. My son, it was going to be his last year of baseball, playing Little League Baseball. Had a few practices, and I remember thinking, this is okay. So this is how my Braves fan mind went. My son has to play for the Phillies. That is the difference between
that was the worst.
March 1st and March 16th, right? So I'm thinking, oh gosh, he's got to wear this uniform and that's his team, to, oh, you know what? How about no team at all? How about no baseball season at all? I mean, my girls were doing their ballet stuff through Zoom. Shut up. All this stuff. And it's just like literally, like a room in the house became the ballet room, and it's just like, and like you said, the mental repercussions that, like, I feel I'm fine, right? And I actually see now, my experience was different than most. I did go to work every day. I did enjoy that there was no traffic on the road. Fill in the blank. There were some benefits there. But most people were absolutely isolated, kids and adults, and nothing good came from that aspect of it. I could sit here for the next 20 hours and talk straight through of all the crap our government put us through on so many levels, and put our kids through. But you mentioned how kids are already challenged. Let's say it like that. It's tough being a teenager. And that, I was a kid in the 90s, and I thought, oh, it sucks being a teenager. I can't imagine being a kid in this society or during the lockdowns. It's just an extra layer of insanity. Quite a deep layer. So one of the stories I have, I didn't know we were going to talk about this here, but you kind of triggered it in me. This story is: majority of teens feel happy and peaceful without smartphones. So says a survey. Man, I don't doubt it. I don't know about you, Jill. I'm the first person to admit that I'm addicted to my smartphone. How about you?
Everyone is, really, whether it's some level of addiction, right? You might fall on the opposite ends of the scale, but at some point, everybody is addicted to the cell phone. They make it that way on purpose, right? Like your brain is getting dopamine hits from your phone, all the notifications. I'm one of the people that have, like, my notifications for everything are turned off. As many things as I can, they do not pop up, right? Like Instagram, Twitter, any of that, like that, they do not come up on my phone ever. If I want to know what's going on there, I will pull open each app individually. Because you can, at some point, you can see when you're like, oh, I need to check. I need to see the different possible things that could be going on at my phone at any given time. No, I try to control at least what I can and have it somewhat manageable. But even then, it's still terrible. And, and we use it for everything, right? It's my alarm clock. You put maps on it to get around town. You figure it all out. And that's completely reliant upon the device.
You said a couple things there that I want to touch on. First of all, I try to have as many news notification apps going at the same time. And it's kind of become a game where I just enjoy seeing the different ways that different news outlets write the headlines. It's like same story, CNN one way, Fox News a completely different way. Which, by the way, if you're listening or if you know whoever writes the headlines for the Fox News app notifications, stop. You try too hard. I can't stand it. They try to make it so that that you don't know. I'm trying to think of a good example. Like like a ruling has come in the Trump case or whatever. And you're like, oh, what is it? Well, I already know because 10 other apps told me that a judge is dismissing charges against Trump. It's like Fox, stop. I see you working. I see you
they
working.
Get you to click.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I see that. But no, there's an interesting. The other thing you said. Here's the problem with the alarm clock, because I've got a regular alarm clock that looks. I just ripped this off the wall. I'm gonna have to put that back later. So this is a kind of alarm clock that I have next to my bed, but I also have the alarm set on my phone. But I make the alarm clock next to my bed like way out, like it's the oh crap alarm that
you just don't wake up, do you?
No. Oh, I'm the world's lightest sleeper. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm saying I set that alarm for just like I get up, put clothes on, head out the door if that alarm goes off. But the alarm on my phone that is set for 3 a.m. and I rarely make it there. But some mornings, like I'll wake up there and I'll go, oh gosh, I haven't slept enough. Or you know what? There's not too much I gotta do this morning. I'm gonna reach for my phone and I'm gonna move that alarm out a little bit. I think I'm gonna try to get, it may be 1 a.m. or something. And then when I reach for the phone to change that alarm, all of a sudden now I find myself looking at everything, man. I'm going through Twitter, I'm reading news articles, going to all the sites, man. Oh, and then now I'm awake. So screw sleeping till 3:30, bro. You got up at 1. So whatever.
That sounds terrible.
That's I'm not a smart man. Jenny. Okay, check this out. Let me zoom in here. US teens ages 13 to 17 who say they feel the following when they do not have their smartphone with them. Boy, I'm glad I didn't have a cell phone as a kid. I mean, think about that. If you had a crap day at school or you had a bully or just a-holes that you just didn't, you get off the bus, man, and you don't have to think about them till the morning. Now, social media, oh my gosh, there is no break for these kids' minds. That's why my kids aren't allowed on social media. Okay, what is this here? I don't know if I can zoom this in anymore here. So, okay, US teens, smartphone with them. They feel happy. They feel so often happy is the dark blue. Sometimes happy is the purple. So you got 74% of kids who are happy when they don't have their smartphone with them. Gosh, that says it all right there. 72%.
Because they don't need it to run their lives yet, right? Like teenagers that are 13 to 17, like especially the low end of that range, they're not driving themselves to practice. They don't need all the, like all the things, right? Like the parents are getting the emails and figuring it out.
Yep.
Once you get to like 16, 17, maybe they start taking over themselves. But I love that the kids are still thinking, you know what? I'm still happy without having the smartphone all the time. Those numbers are actually kind of encouraging.
Right? I was stunned by this. These are teenagers. 74% feel some level of happiness without their phone. What is this? You do math. I hate math. 72% are peaceful. 44% feel anxious. That's probably where I am. Probably there's like, oh, I got crap to do on my phone. I've got emails to write. I've got texts to return. Upset, 40%. And then lonely, 39%. When they don't have their phone, teenagers. I don't know, but for the most part, those are encouraging numbers. I agree.
Well, especially the lonely one, because I feel like it's just harder and harder to get kids to just talk to each other. They're like, no, it's all over here. It's all on the phone. It's fine.
Can I have some eye contact when we're talking, please?
Yeah.
Yes.
They they just sit there and they have their headsets on and they do like all the gaming and stuff, and they can talk to their friends that way as long as they don't have to see them.
Yeah, the earbuds in the car while traveling drive me nuts. Come on now. But at the same time, I'd be doing that. I mean, That's the thing, though. At least when I had the Walkman, the Discman, at least I could hear what was going on around me. Now it's like, what? I've been talking for the last 2 minutes. Never mind. Yeah, it's like they don't hear anything. I'm just looking over this story to make sure there's not any good numbers in here that I wanted to get to. No, I took the long route. I did the math myself on the chart here. Let's see. This is interesting. Hang on, this wasn't on that graph. Nearly 70% of teens said they think smartphones make it easier to pursue hobbies and interests, while 45% said the devices make it easier for young people to do well in school. Oh, really? Okay. I need my phone to do better in school.
I need it for school.
Right. Hold on.
No, Mom, you don't understand. It's for school. We've all been kids too, guys. We know.
You will appreciate this more than anyone. This is perfect. When I was in high school, my senior year, I convinced I was living with my grandparents, and I wanted cable TV in my room. And my grandfather was like, I don't want to do that. You got to drill holes in the floor and all this crap. And I understood as a homeowner now, I totally get it. But I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm going to get into sports journalism. I need to, be able to watch ESPN all the time and all the sports and stuff. And anyway, I got cable in my room. Am I in sports broadcasting though? No.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, I want to ask you, I know we're removed from the whole Sunday morning, 2 a.m. Standard time bull crap, change your clocks, but I just have not recovered. I know, 1 hour of sleep, I got it. But apparently that was very crucial to me because I've been a zombie more so than normal all week. Have you been affected? Does that bother you? Where are you on the whole daylight saving time thing?
I used to live in Arizona, so I loved not having to follow daylight savings time. Wow. Now it screwed the rest of the country up because in the summer, Arizona would be on the Pacific Standard Time, and in the winter, they would be on Mountain Time. So if anybody because everybody would always get confused. I work for the Pac-12 network. Arizona was obviously in the Pac-12 still at the time. And they would try and figure out, what time is it in Arizona right now? Nobody could ever remember. So in the winter, you go to the mountains. In the summer, you go to the beach. So that is the easiest way to remember what time zone Arizona is on. It's the things that you want to do in the winter, going to the mountains. Summer, going to the beach.
Hang on, let me show you what I do whenever I have to find out what's happening in Arizona, et cetera, et cetera. What time is it in Phoenix right now?
Okay, fine.
The time in Phoenix, Arizona is
11:22. So okay, so yeah, because when I spring forward, I'm getting further away from Arizona. That's right. And then when I fall back.
So did it affect me? It didn't for 5 glorious years. It was beautiful. Those years in Arizona, it was perfection, and that's what everyone should do because it's proven it works. We were just fine. I remember, honestly, waking up on the daylight savings days, the mornings, and I was like, same time. Perfect. And I would hear all my family complaining about it. But this week, no. So it's funny because I had actually gotten into like a really bad habit of waking up at like 5 a.m. and trying to fall back asleep. But now it's like, it's 6 a.m. This is now socially acceptable. This is totally fine. I can just start my day.
Yeah.
And so I do. And
how did Sunday morning work out? I
just get into work earlier.
Oh, okay.
And then leave earlier eventually. And then I think my body will just catch up to it. But for you, 3 a.m. is a little different.
So this is okay. This is, on one hand, this is a first world problem. On the other hand, this sucks. This is America. I shouldn't even have to think about this. Remember how I held up this clock and it said 12? So this clock has not been changed because I don't come up here to do this except for on the weekends.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, and I'm looking at, so it just hit me. Duh, it's 1 o'clock on the computer. So I'm sitting here now. Now I've got to figure, it's going to take me 6 months, Jill, to figure out how to set this clock, and then it's going to have to go back to the way it was.
Now you're good for mountain time.
Help me. This should not be this tough. Okay, I will, I'll get to that later. All right. Well, you know what? I have a poll. Hang on a second. Let me see. All right. Hang on. Where did it go? This one right here. Okay. So I put a poll out there to ask people, like, what would you like to see with the time?
Huh.
And there we go. Pick one. Standard time. Gets dark earlier.
Who
daylight
picks
saving time.
dark earlier? I think that they were mistaken.
Well,
I think that they voted incorrectly.
I tried to make it clear. Dark early, dark later.
I know. I know.
Keep changing the clocks. 7% of you are disgusting, quite frankly. Keep changing the clocks.
I think they did that just to make you mad.
Woodrow Wilson is the reason we started the whole daylight saving time. I think it might have started. I think it started during the Civil War. Then it went away. Imagine that. Something temporary in the federal government. Then Woodrow Wilson brought it back, and it was temporary. Maybe it didn't happen in the... I'm just looking here. I got this article. You know what came there? That's what it was. Sorry. I've been doing this. I've been working on the worst presidents bracket. Don't forget, Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern right here. That's what I was thinking. It was the income tax that was temporary during the Civil War. And anyway, went away. But the daylight saving time, that came along with Woodrow Wilson, but went away after World War I against Woodrow Wilson's wishes. But LBJ, I just named two presidents that are absolutely gonna make that tournament. Anyway, I'm getting a little distracted here because I'm just seething thinking about those two guys. Will they be number one seeds? You know, I learned a fun fact about Valentine, Nebraska, as we're talking about the time change situation there. When I went on a hunting trip last fall, and I learned that because it's mountain time zone and it's very close. And so I started Googling, just looking like, because where we were staying was Central Time Zone, I think. Wait, what was it? Was Mountain? Yeah, Central. And then when we went hunting, it was Mountain, or vice versa. Hell, I forgot now. Anyway, the town used to be divided. People argued so much. There's a main street that runs through Valentine, Nebraska, and on one side was Mountain and one time was Central until the 60s, until LBJ came along and fixed it for them.
Anarchy.
Yeah, right. I mean, you would stand there and you would see the store across the way. It was 4 o'clock. Well, you're at 3 o'clock, and the post office didn't want to take time or choose sides in Valentine, and so they were like the 30-minute mark. It was 3:30 there. I mean, it was just Valentine, Nebraska. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, another poll that I posted this past week on Twitter. A lot of people participated in this. And tell you all what, this was interesting. This I have never seen, because I had 4 options here, and lots of people. It was about as evenly split as you could be with this many options. Currently speaking, allies of America should see our nation as a force for good, period. 30%. A force for mostly good. 24%. A force for mostly bad, about 25%. A force for bad, period, 20%. Look at that. And that is so sad. That says so much about the state of our nation. It should not be.
So you say allies of America.
Right. I had to be specific because I didn't want to say China or something. Or people think, should see. Okay, if you're a traditional ally, if you're Great Britain, if you're France or whatever, if you're a traditional ally of the United States of America, how should you see our nation? And these are your results. Do you have a place where you land on there, Jill?
I mean, throughout the years, they start at the top. And they work their way down that list. I would love if it's still like a good day. I think the best that I can say now is a force for mostly good, because I want to believe in America. I am the person that's just like, hey, this is the best country that has ever been. But you also have to look at it now of all of the crap that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Preach.
I mean, we could have a whole show on just that whole thing. So I would on a good day, the best I could say is a force for mostly good. I think that's where I would still have to vote if I had to vote, because I still want to be a little optimistic out there.
So let me follow it up with this question. Another tweet that I posted yesterday. Why would you follow the United States into anything anymore? Now what's your answer?
Weapons of mass destruction. We should
Right.
go in.
Right.
Yeah, we lie about everything. Oh,
we lie about
COVID
everything.
COVID was bat soup, right? Like, don't look at Wuhan. Don't look at all of the things that are actually happening on the ground in the Institute of, all of that stuff. No. Look over here. Look at all this stuff. Oh, and by the way, do you care if we have a border or not? Don't worry about it. We shut the country down because we were worried about a disease, the virus, for a while. But now we have all the diseases that are coming over from the border from everybody, like all the measles and everything that the stories are out there everywhere. Where we have illegals that are murdering people seemingly every day now. There's stories all the time. So I'm sorry, what was the government actually supposed to be doing for us versus what are they just let me scamming us with?
Right.
Still.
Let me tell our allies about pegging to the U.S. dollar.
Oh, it's my favorite topic.
And what we're doing to that. Let me talk to our allies about Nord Stream 2 and what we likely did there. And let me talk to you about the Senate Majority Leader basically telling Israel how to run their own country. Would you like to change your answer, Jill? I'm going mostly bad myself if I'm voting.
It's a Friday. Okay.
Right. I try to keep it light, but my gosh.
I'm still going to say mostly good.
You're awesome.
I know.
Way to stay firm there.
I know. Okay. I get it, guys. I get it.
But by the way, let me speak for Doni Anthony, who, again, if you missed it, she's not with us because we had storms come through. Her internet's out. It's been a frustrating day for her. I'm going to vote for you, Doni, if you're watching, or check this out later when your internet gets restored. She would probably pick a force for bad, period. She's involved in local politics. She's not a fan of the government on any level. And I just have a feeling that's how she would have voted. Okay. So you're a nice person, Jill. You're easy to talk to at work. You're here on the show. We're having a good conversation about any number of topics.
That's why I chose mostly good.
Okay, see, and we will get to more lighthearted stuff to discuss. So let me ask you about this article here: How to Master the Art of Small Talk. I sent this your way earlier. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it from Vox, but do you like small talk? Do you make small talk? Do you just keep to yourself in public? What is your how do you go about chatting it up with people outside of, say, a work environment where you're compelled to speak to people like me every day?
I feel like it's actually easier at work, even getting to know new people, if that's ever the scenario, because you have something in common. There's at least a starting place.
Yeah.
When it's out in the wild, you don't know, right? There's so many hard beliefs that people have now.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
I mean, guys are dressing up as females and they're getting real pissed if you call them sir. There are tons of videos, right? Libs of TikTok has videos of that every single day now. Mm-hmm. Oh, you misgendered me.
Okay.
Okay. Right. We live, that's our world that we live in. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, just making small talk with people. I like talking to people, but only if we have if your sanity level is at a certain threshold, we'll be cool. If it's below that and you believe all of the MSNBC stuff,
I like that.
It's gonna be really hard these days.
If your sanity level is at a certain threshold, we might be able to chat. Other than that, yeah. Okay, so if you're out, let's say you're, I'm trying to think of a good scenario because I'm not really the conversation starter out in the wild. So if you're sitting in a waiting room or standing in line at a hamburger joint or whatever, like,
Yeah.
do you prefer to just be left alone? Do you prefer someone to start the conversation, or do you start the conversation? And if so, as this article goes through, here's some helpful suggestions on what to talk about other than the meteorological conditions outside.
No, if it's going to be a conversation, I would prefer to start it because I want to be in charge of everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
that's me.
Okay, control freak.
Like,
Got it.
If I want to talk to you, I will talk to you.
I'm right there.
So
I'm right there.
Let me give you an example.
Okay.
I was at Costco. Recently moved here, had to stock up. There was a guy. He had his name tag said Bob. Bob was standing next to me. I went to Costco with a friend of mine, and just quick Sunday trip to Costco, in and out as quickly as humanly possible. Bob's like, "Oh, hi."
No.
Older man. Oh, like,
but
older.
So, and he's an employee of Costco.
An employee of Costco.
Okay.
And we were like close to the self checkout, like at the vitamins, and I thought, oh, Bob's gonna try and sell me on some vitamins here. Like, he's gonna try and say, you need this or whatever. He comes over to me and he's like, let me state the obvious.
Oh no.
You have great hair. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. And then he proceeded to tell me where his, I would assume, also very old wife got her hair done in town, that if I needed a place, that he was kind and recommending me a new place to go if I wanted that. But
does he get a cut, Bob?
I was like, you know, I'm gonna need to run over there right now. Literally anywhere but here.
Oh, no.
I need to run. And I was like, friend, you stay here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Because Bob was definitely lingering before. Like, we knew that Bob was going to try and make some small talk.
Well, I mean, as the Vox article states, view small talk as an opportunity, not an annoyance. So, yeah. Jill,
this was Bob's opportunity to tell me that I had great hair, and Bob was not going to let. And I was like, "Hey, man, I appreciate this."
So I'm gonna practice here.
But it was awkward.
Yeah, I bet. So, hey, I'm Bob now. Hey, that's some great hair you got there. What do you use? And what's the answer? Because people want to know. Is it Pantene? What is it?
No, he didn't even ask me what I used. He just offered up other services. I know. Yeah, but you're finding something and you're saying, "Oh, I like this about you. What do you use so others can also do this?" The answer is a lot of living proof products. So
okay, I was hoping we were going to get that answer. Very good.
Yeah.
Listen to this. This headline says, "What to talk about instead of your job." Popular scripts dominate small talk. Comments about traffic and the weather. The questions, so what do you do and how are you? Often people give unengaging or throwaway answers that don't give the other person much to respond to. I mean, please don't. Like Pat, my day job, Pat Gray Unleashed, he can't stand small talk. Cash register, how's your day going so far? Is it hot enough for you? Seriously, I'm like you. It's very rare that I'm going to start a conversation. Maybe that's not like you, but I want to be the one to start it, because if I'm interested in having a conversation, then I'll start it. But I mean, I'm playing hypocrite here because the other person may have the same thought. But
nope.
Okay. Let's see. But that's not often I'm going to start a conversation like that in public. Let's see here. Or instead of questioning your conversation partner, try a statement or observation. Y'all writing this down? I'm giving y'all tips.
I'm telling you, Bob said I had great hair. He followed the rules.
Okay. So, something as simple as, this line is taking forever. I hate that. That makes it sound like you're just whining, you know? Like, if you're trying to find me a solution, then start the conversation. Say something like, oh, yo, check it out. Let's go over here to this line they're opening over here. That'd be cool. Don't be like, this line's taking forever. I'm like, okay, yeah, I noticed that too. I don't need the obvious. Let's see. How is it? This actually says discussing the weather is ample conversation fodder. Get out of here. Oh, no, don't. Unless you know something about
if it's hail and tornadoes, maybe.
Right. Like, okay.
But if it's just average stuff, no.
If you got an alert on your phone, if you're addicted to your phone the way I am, and it says, hey, National Weather Service says that we're going to get a big snowstorm tomorrow, and that looks like breaking news, maybe you're like standing in the line at the grocery store like, oh my gosh, we need some more bread and milk and whatnot, because it says now instead of, flurries, we're getting a foot of snow tomorrow, y'all. And then there's panic. Never mind. That's not going to work out in Texas. Let's see here. Oh, gosh. To be better at small talk, actually listen. Oof, maybe. I'm just looking here. Don't make it weird. Bob failed.
Weird. Rule number 1.
Listen to this. It says you can't be realistically sitting next to someone on the plane and say, hi, what's your favorite superpower? I mean, look, if you're socially awkward, you could pull that off.
Totally can.
Let's see here. Look at this. This is what you did. If you find the discussion isn't going anywhere after a few exchanges, don't force it. So-and-so says, either politely excuse yourself. I've got to run to the bathroom is a great exit.
Just leave.
Okay. Just leave. Yeah, get out of there.
Just leave.
I need to ask you. You just moved here to Dallas. How are your allergies? Because everybody that moves here, 90% of us find a hell waiting for us. Where are you?
I lived here and then I moved to Tennessee and now I'm back. So I am. My allergies right now are okay.
Okay.
But I know what's in store. I know it's coming. I know it's coming.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, it was so bad. I remember the first time that I lived here that I looked it up online and I was like, oh, at that point we were the number 1 city. Now Wichita in Kansas is the number 1 and Dallas is the number 2. So we got that going for us. We're not as terrible as Wichita.
Ooh, we're tumbling down the rankings, y'all. And by the way, if you didn't see Pat Gray Unleashed yesterday, we talked about allergies and we talked about why, and it all goes back to government. It goes back to government. I posted on my Twitter feed. Look for the article. It goes back to 1949. The government wanted to beautify cities, so they planted a bunch of male trees instead of female trees because female trees are messy and require more cleanup. Male trees shoot off the pollen, and then the next thing you know, you got allergies. So for the last 70 years, you can thank your government for beautifying your cities and ruining your life. Thank you. All right, let's see here. Okay, rapid fire time. Here we go.
Okay.
As quick as you can here.
Okay.
If you were to write a book, Jill Savage, what would that book be about?
The Caitlin Clark effect. Iowa women's basketball player. I'm obsessed with her. Okay. She grew up in the same town as me. She played for the same AAU team as my cousin, same high school as him. It's going to be a fun NCAA tournament.
And then she beat my Nebraska alumni. I went to Nebraska in that overtime game last weekend.
What she does.
That's what she does. Now she's headed to the WNBA where she will be drafted by the Indiana Sparks.
She's also on my phone. I love her.
Jill is she's a sports fan, but she's basketball obsessed. In other words, if I had invited her, and I totally respect this, if I had invited her to join me a week from now, see, I made the mistake of doing this Friday live stream.
Yeah, I would have turned this down.
She would have said, no, I'm sorry, I can't join you on the 22nd.
No, so, the Steve Day show has it right, and I knew this going on the Dace group earlier this morning. I was like, oh, I need to go on this week. Because one, they aren't going to have a show next week because they take off Thursday and Friday for the beginning of the NCAA tournament because they're the best days of the year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Pat, if he's a BYU fan and the host of Pat Gray Unleashed, he said that if BYU is playing in Salt Lake, that's where he will be Thursday and Friday. So why don't Jeffy and I just, you know what? Thanks for the idea. We might have some best of Pats on Thursday and Friday because I don't want to wake up. But no, seriously, Friday at this time, I'm going to totally be paying attention to you, Jack Helmuth, as my guest here. But I'm going to be doing this the whole time. Like, yeah, man. Yeah. Stupid government. And then my TV's over here tuned to the basketball games. Okay. All right. So you're going to write a book about her. But, right. Did I get that right? Did I remember that nickname off the top of my head? The Indiana Sparks?
Fever. The LA Sparks.
See, you were just too nice to correct me. But they're going to draft her, right? So, of course. Okay.
They already increased their season ticket prices.
She might save that league.
She's the whole thing. Yeah.
Honestly. Okay. What is your favorite rainy day activity? Which right now it's raining still here in Dallas, Texas.
Honestly, it's probably watching a movie and online shopping. If I'm being real, and why not? Then that's.
So hold on, you're watching a movie, right? So all right, I wasn't going to ask you this, but now.
But like multiple screens because.
What's your favorite movie?
Gladiator and The Big Short. My favorite.
I've never seen The Big Short. Would I like it? I don't know. I've seen Gladiator.
The Big Short.
You're not entertained?
Good.
Let's see. Favorite founding father, Jill.
My birthday buddy, Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, that's a good one. All right. Anything particular you like about him?
I mean, he did a lot. He's a pretty big one out there, you know, writing all of our founding documents. It's a pretty decent job out of him.
Yeah, he did pretty good at 33,
pretty
writing
good.
the Declaration of Independence.
He did okay, that one.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Jefferson. But, you know, just one thing that really bugs me about his presidency was the whole Louisiana Purchase not going through Congress. And think about this. John Adams, you know, he was right there. Let's go fight against Britain and stuff. And then he becomes president and he starts throwing people in jail because he doesn't like them. They disagree. So in other words, the biggest hypocrites about our Constitution were the founding fathers, just saying.
I know.
Sorry.
Hot takes.
What's the best thing you've ever won, or have you ever won anything? You know,
the best thing that I've ever won.
The lottery.
Yeah, I did win. I was in junior high and we were selling little raffle tickets for school, and it was I think the prize was $250 in groceries, and I won it, and I thought that was pretty.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I remember we gave it to my grandma, and she loved it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I can't read my own handwriting. I'm that terrible. Would you rather travel to the past or the future?
I don't want to know what the future is going to look like. I don't want to.
Right. At least I have a general idea of what I'm walking into if I go to the past.
You can't make me. I'm going to the past.
Thank you. How far back are you going?
Probably not that far. If you get too far back, they would smell. They would smell so bad.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're going back to last week when you had a bad hair day.
If I could change the exchange with Bob, maybe I would go back there and not have that.
Awesome. Okay. Let's see here. St. Patrick's Day coming up Sunday, March 17th. Oh, by the way, I think you're wearing green today.
I am, and I did not do that on purpose at all.
No?
And there were so many people that were wearing green in the office today, and I went, why are all these people wearing green? Did not. I had a different blazer on before, and I was like, it was too dark, and so this was a little lighter.
That's that weird.
That was it.
Yeah, that's a weird gray area when St. Patrick's Day doesn't fall on a weekday. You feel, I guess, compelled to wear green at work.
And I usually don't. I'm always I'm fine.
All right. Very good. So, which holiday, Jill Savage, is your favorite?
Gosh, again, we were big 4th of July fam. We were huge 4th of July fam. We would have a rib cookout every year. I think we were up to 55 years in a row. My dad would do it with his family, and they would slow cook ribs all day. And it started out at this big park in town, and then people would have it at their house. But now, with America, the state of things, if we're going back to the top of the show,
seriously,
it's not like
4th of July.
I want America to be great, but then you see like bumbling, stumbling Joe, and
Independence Day is not
just
what it used to be.
And then R.I.P. Toby Keith. That was like his holiday then. You just crank up Toby songs. I don't know. But that was it. The 4th of July was as good as it got, man.
I'm with you. And it's now become kind of depressing when you stand out there and you hear free.
Because I want it to be something.
Right.
That it currently isn't. But again, being hopeful.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, then let me do this. I think this was a topic recently on this show. How many more?
No.
This will be the last dark topic. How many more 4th of Julys do we celebrate as a nation? How many more are left, Jill?
300. How many will the country celebrate?
Yeah. How long will July 4th still be, important or
so this is
be applicable?
This is the year 2024.
Mm-hmm.
So this one.
Okay. Wow. Actually, that seems optimistic. You think we're gonna last as a nation for 4 more months?
Yeah, I think that's the only one that I can count on, because then I feel like we have the opportunity to go full Hunger Games after this, like the Capitol versus the districts. Like I feel like it's gonna be separated.
Well said. Yeah. Okay. Who's gonna be District 12? Wasn't that the one where what's her name came from with the Mockingjay?
Yeah.
Get that? Nailed it.
Katniss
District
Everdeen.
12? Katniss Everdeen. Yeah. So wonder what the equivalent to District 12 is going to be. Is it Texas? Is it somewhere else? Texas
is it's Florida.
I was going to say Texas is getting all purpley. That's what happens when you encourage companies to move from California to your state and you don't teach them how to respect freedom. Sorry, I said no dark topic. All right. Well, one thing we do obviously on St. Patrick's Day that we also do on the 4th of July is we drink, and we drink a lot. And I found this story. Perfect story here. Do you have a guess, Jill? What is the country that drinks the most alcohol in the world?
One of the uppermost Eastern European countries that gets dark a lot.
That's a good guess. Right. Okay.
Well, because I've been in Finland and Sweden, and like the Czech Republic for the hockey tournaments that I would work for NHL Network.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, in the winter when it's 3 hours of sunlight,
right,
they can throw down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
in Finland, they would like ride the little ferry over to Estonia, get the cheap vodka, and come back over. Fun fact.
Let's go. So I'm gonna try. This article is written. I don't like it. And there's not a chart.
Also, Russia would count in that then, right? Like Russia is like also there. I just blocked them out.
I'm a big fan of
But I would say they drink vodka more than anyone. It's all the hockey tournaments that teach me all of the cultured things from people around the world. And the Russians, I would work for NHL Network, but we would be with TSN. The Russians, you can't keep up with them.
Well, I'm trying to figure out in this article how they got to this top 10 list, and I have all the good numbers here. Just bear with me here. I'm just trying to see where they got this. Anyway, all right. So I'm going to try to count backwards. So I'm going to start at number 10, and in 10th place. By the way, I'm just going to tell you going in. This is the dumbest list, and these are the most flawed results. Just okay. So number 10, drinking 7.5 gallons of alcohol every year is the nation of. I'm sorry, the Islamic Republic of Iran. Now, wait a minute. How? I'm not a. Okay.
Is this the bottom 10?
No. Yeah. Here's how the article begins. The country that consumes the most alcohol in the world may surprise you. It's not the country that drinks the most beer, Czechia.
See? Because the beer was cheaper than water in the Czech Republic. I'm not joking. The beer was cheaper than water.
Oh, that sounds like paradise. Nor is the country that produces the most beer. Which country do you think produces the most beer, Jill? Did I send you this article?
No. My guess is Germany, though. Just lots of beer.
No. China? No. I don't know. I'm about to disavow this article. But here we go. Number 10 is Iran. Number 9 is Turkey. Or what is it now? Turkey. What are we at now? 8th is Algeria. So this is not going to get any better, y'all. South Africa is 7th. Namibia is 6th. What? This cannot. What are they drinking? Rubbing alcohol? At some point,
these countries. How is these countries aren't rich enough to be drinking all the time?
Well, like, not only that, but
it's just not. They can't be drunk all the time.
All right, somebody in the chat, Google for me. Go Google. Is alcohol legal in Afghanistan? They're 5th. I'm telling you.
Is it all? Because if it's all the Marines over there, maybe.
Maldives 4th. Let's see. Did you know that Swaziland is now Eswatini? Well, now you do.
Headline.
Take that to Bob. Let's see. So that's whatever. 4th place. 3rd place. Let's see. No, that's 3rd place. See, I'm reading this backwards just because,
yeah, the build up.
Count up, right. Let's see here. Here we go. For this survey, wise voter considered a drink, one serving as the equivalent of 1 12-ounce can/bottle of beer, 1 5-ounce glass of wine, or 1.5-ounce shot of liquor. This is insane. Okay, second place.
A lot of shots in Afghanistan.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody clarify in Google and please do my work for me. Let's see here. Tunisia is in 2nd place. Number one. Oh, before I get to number 1, let me tell you that our sponsor, no, that's what it sounded like. Before number 1, Germany is, okay, this is bullcrap. I'm with you. This is, I feel like we're getting punked.
Oktoberfest alone.
Right. Germany is 70th? Shut up. This is dumb. And the way this thing's printed up, I don't have the source of this. Oh, foodrepublic.com.
This isn't even going to be per capita because all these other countries aren't that big.
You're not even going to believe where the United States is. This is the dumbest list I've ever seen in my life. Who decided to put this on the show? The United States is not number 1, Jill Savage. The United States, according to foodrepublic.com, which of course is the greatest source for show prep material ever, 121st.
Have they seen Wisconsin?
Have they seen Wisconsin? Okay, listen to this. How is it that China makes the most beer in the world according to foodrepublic.com,
right,
but yet it's ranked 128 in consumption? So what?
They probably also make the most shoes in the world, but they're not using the shoes, are they?
Not using the shoes. Okay.
They are the export country, not. Well, a lot of their people they're getting rich enough that they can start buying their own stuff now. But I would assume that alcohol is still not high up on that list.
By the way, Czechia.
Though they do like the fine wine. I do know that. There are a lot of buyers of all of the fine wine in China. Because that was seen as like the status symbol.
Kudos to Czechia for inventing the beer spa. That's kind of fun. Let's see. I'm just checking here. Hang on. See if there's anything else on here. It's important. So Germany, you can start drinking at 16. I mean, that alone should have been. What a stupid list. Oh, I haven't done number 1 yet. Yeah. Here comes the most popular beer in the country that drinks the most. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Zimbabwe, everybody. Look at that, huh? Zambezi beer coming in with a alcohol by volume of 4.7%. Ooh, crazy.
I'm gonna need another source, I feel like.
I feel like you're right. And now I feel like that was a waste of time because I don't believe a damn word in that story. Okay, animal video time. We got our animal videos that we do every week here. on the Friday live stream. Let's see here. Yes. Okay. First of all, I don't know if this is true. This stat I'm about to share with you is more accurate than anything in that alcohol consumption story that I just read. Which, by the way, I'm looking over here. Yeah, exactly. OG Thor. That's what I thought. Alcohol is illegal in Afghanistan.
That's why I'm like,
what are you doing? This is,
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I like the truth.
They don't deal with that.
Okay, so you know what? I want you to pretend that.
Listen, if you told me the Saudis, like, I would say, yeah, okay, like we know that they're doing things that the rest are not, right? The royal family has different rules than the rest of the country.
Right.
And I'm sure they could put down a ton and they have the funds to do it, right?
I want you to pretend I didn't even read that story. I'm embarrassed, quite frankly. All right, so I don't know about this. So I don't know about this stat here, but I'm going to believe this. Studies show that watching a beaver eat cabbage lowers stress by 17%. I think once you see this video, and Jill, see if you agree. Once you see this video, I think the stat is more like it lowers your stress by 97%. Here is a beaver eating cabbage.
We need to refill.
Mm-hmm. That's better than the one we had last week, or whenever it was. We had a beaver eating like little pellets, look like rabbit food. That's better because you got. And I'll be the first one, and I don't want to say it too loudly here because he'll get up and he'll be like, "What?" But a lot of times I give food to Tanner, my dog, just so I can hear him crunch because that is such a satisfying sound. You know, apples especially. Get a dog if for no other reason so you can hear them eat apples, ladies and gentlemen. Okay,
that's the reason. That's number one reason on the poll.
That's the only reason. That's really the only reason to have a dog. Let's see here. What I wanted to play for you last week, we had this video. I want to make sure I get this correct. I wouldn't say there's controversy with this video of the Chihuahua, but if you were here last week, we played this video of the Chihuahua with the balloons. Now, and the reason I even kind of hint at a possible controversy, right, is that there is some editing here. But the editing isn't bad. It's just kind of tightens up him going from one balloon to the next, right? That's really all it is. So it's not like a CGI
as you would do on TikTok with a 6-second attention span.
Thank you. Okay, so here, in case you missed it last week, this is insane. This is insane. This is not CGI. No, this is insane is what it is. Look at this dog. The rubber bands, balloons. I love how he just shakes his butt.
Sad.
He's very happy. Now he probably ran off to get his treat,
like,
right?
I need more.
Okay, so then somebody sent me, after we got that one, somebody then sent me a follow-up video. Have you seen, so as stunning as that one was, this next one, not edited at all for time or anything like that, and it's more impressive, quite frankly. I want to see, have you seen this other one where he's shooting, hang on, there we go. All right, this Chihuahua is hilarious. Tell me that's not the most adorable thing ever.
The best. Is this strictly a Chihuahua phenomenon?
And I'm so glad the floor.
Can other dogs do this?
I don't know, but I'm so glad the floor isn't carpeted because then we have the extra little tick, 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 tick of his little claws as he's balancing. I love how he just watches too. He's like,
yeah, like they fall down. Over.
Tell me that's not
humans awesome. Bowling. Like, is that last pin? Is it going to fall?
Right.
I don't know.
Exactly what that is. Yes. It's got the body English going. All right. I love that dog. That's cool. So, little animal time there. Okay. So, but now here's another story about a dog that I want you to see this creature here, because this dog, not even half as smart as the one we just saw. This dog right here, ugh, he ate 133 coins. And there they are. I'm not paying for that surgery. I'm sorry. No. Do you have a dog? Do you have any animals, Jill?
No. And I would travel all the time. So I never would have a pet. I would have a lot of plants that could survive still without me, but no pets.
So, wait, are you in the market for an animal? Are you going to get a pet anytime soon? No,
I like other people's pets. I like other people's pets. Yeah.
Okay. So 133 coins. I thought I saw in here.
And this is not the story to be like, oh, now go get a dog.
Yeah, go get a dog, because then he'll eat all your money, and that'll be fun. Then you'll be on the internet. There'll be a story about you and your dog. And I thought I saw another story that said how much was in him,
not
and
just
how much
like
the surgery
3 to 5 coins.
Yo, okay, more than 18 pounds. Sure. So this is in British. 18 pounds value. Yep. This stupid article, I thought I saw it somewhere, said how much the surgery cost. Somebody else do my job for me.
A lot of money.
Put it in the. Gosh, yeah, you're gonna want to Google Charlie. How do you pronounce this, Jill? The Bichon Frise. Did I get that right?
Sure.
Anyway, Charlie needs to. No, I'm not.
Charlie needs to cool it on the coins.
Honestly, it's like, at what point is the dog like, all right, you're just not worth it, bro. I'm sorry that you're sick, and you obviously.
You as a dog owner should not be saying this.
No. The worst thing Tanner's done is, I forgot. It's somewhere in my Twitter feed. I think he ate. How many cupcakes was it, buddy? It was chocolate cupcakes. I think it was 9. It was 12, 9 are in there. I don't know. I think it was 12. Anyway, he ate a lot because we came home and then he's all sheepish, like, bro, what's up? I never got any, by the way. These were made and I didn't get to enjoy them, but somebody did. But he never had one issue, not a digestive issue. And it got me to thinking, is that whole chocolate kills dogs thing an urban legend?
Bad.
Well,
maybe.
Not with him. He's got a stomach of steel.
Maybe it was just a different, not high octane, high cocoa enough for him.
I don't know, man. He's got a tough.
He had like unleaded, not diesel.
We're doing shots later, Tanner. Cool. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So this is kind of an animal story. I don't understand stories like this. I don't know what scientists are smoking. I don't know why we do gain of function stuff. I guess I'm just too simple to understand why scientists do what they do. But here we go from CNN. Scientists inch forward in efforts to resurrect an extinct giant. And here we go. We've talked about this years ago on Pat's show. It's like they're making progress. Why? Why do we need a woolly mammoth?
We don't. We should leave the extinct animals extinct.
Thank you.
They probably died off for a reason.
Right. They were probably dumb and ate coins and stuff.
Yeah. If they couldn't figure it out, to have at least a few more stick around, then it's not worth it.
Why it's do not worth feel it. Right?
I mean, could you imagine bringing a woolly mammoth back and now throwing it out there again in the wild and just seeing what happens?
Listen to this.
With all the other, right? Like the predators, right? Have you ever heard of like when they were reintroducing the wolves back into, I believe it's like Yellowstone or whatever. And it actually helped with control all the rest of the populations, right? It put everything back in harmony because they tried to get rid of the wolves and then they're like, oh, this is terrible. then they're back, and everything worked out well because that's how it was supposed to go, and we messed with it. But now this is the opposite, where everything is a-okay, and now let's just add things that don't need to be there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I'm just looking here. It's not good. This is not good. This is not good at all. So here we go. Here's some listen, there's a couple of lines from the story here. A bold plan to genetically engineer a version of the woolly mammoth, the tusked Ice Age giant that disappeared 4,000 years ago, is making some progress, according to the scientists involved. Why do I feel like we're all gonna be remembering this story 3 years from now, when hordes of woolly mammoths are roaming the streets of America? Okay.
I mean, I don't have any faith that they're actually going to succeed in all of this, but
well, good. I'm glad to hear that. This is just too Jurassic Parkish feeling to me. The long-term goal is to create a living, walking elephant mammoth hybrid. That word scares me in any story, quite frankly. That would be visually indistinguishable from its extinct forerunner, and if released into its natural habitat in sufficient numbers, could potentially help restore the fragile Arctic tundra ecosystem. No, the same rule applies to the plants in the ecosystem that applies to the animals. If you can't cut it, you're out. We're not going to try to nurse you back to health. Stop it.
Yeah.
Many challenging tasks, such as developing an artificial womb, capable of gestating a baby elephant, remain. All right, so we got some time here. But Colossal Biosciences said on Wednesday that it had made a momentous step forward. So this is a private company. I swear, I guarantee you it's getting your tax dollars to fund this crap. Let's see. So the head of the biological sciences revealed that they had, this company's based in Dallas. They're going to release this damn thing here. Into an embryonic state. Oh my gosh, they got it to an embryonic state. Let's see. Hold on. Into an embryonic state. Man, was close. Okay. So they reprogrammed cells. Again, you don't want to see that in any article. The first time stem cells have been derived from elephant cells. Oh, this is not going to end well. The team plans to publish the work in a scientific journal, but the research hasn't yet undergone peer review. Whatever it takes to drag this out, y'all, please. These modified cells, known as induced pluripotent stem cells, or iPSCs, as you and I know them, Jill, can be further teased in the lab to grow into any kind of elephant cell. Oh, great! An important tool as the researchers model, test, and refine the scores of genetic changes they need to make to give an Asian elephant the genetic traits it needs to survive in the Arctic. Leave it alone! Stop making freaks! These include a woolly coat, a layer of insulating fat, and smaller ears. You're right. They're not close. That's good. Why don't I see the phrase tax dollars or research grant or government whatever? Oh, we got a Dolly the Sheep reference from 1996 in here. Yeah, not good. I don't like this stuff.
No.
Gosh. The potential role of resurrected mammoths. No, don't like it. Wow, I'm surprised I don't see any reference to federal dollars. But that's exactly what's funding this mad scientist stuff. Okay, where are we at here? Okay, so I don't know. Okay, what's your favorite store, Jill? What's your favorite store to go shop at? How about for groceries?
I was like Amazon.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
It's terrible, and I know I shouldn't.
Let's see. Do you ever go to Trader Joe's?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you have a bag that looks like this from Trader Joe's? A tote bag. All right. Look at that, huh?
No, I do not have this.
Now, if you had to buy one of those, if someone said you have to buy one of those, what's the most you're paying for that?
$4.
$4. Well, congratulations. If you are one of the lucky few, you can get it for $2.99. Now, I don't know how much it's going to cost when they bring back the second round of Trader Joe's bags, but they sold those for $2.99. They sold out in less than a week nationwide, and people are selling them up to $500. At least that's what they're asking. I couldn't find the link to see, did they get $500 or are they just asking for it? But bottom line is it is a craze, much along the same lines as the Stanley Cup from a month ago. I think people have realized there's lead in those and now they're not interested. But what is the deal with crazes like this? I don't understand the Stanley Cup thing, the Trader Joe's thing, the Beanie Baby thing. I don't get it. Jill, are you obsessed with anything like this?
No, and here I have whatever this is. I don't even know, but it's not a Stanley Cup. It's a much cheaper version that, guess what? Does the same thing and is $20 cheaper and available everywhere. I didn't have to wait in line. I didn't have to go early. I didn't have to wait for them to like restock. No, they were just there on the shelf. It was fine. There was nothing wrong with it.
Didn't have to punch anybody for it.
No, there was no like Black Friday sales where we're running in mass chaos. Nothing. No. Do I care about this bag? No.
You're going to be made to care.
No.
You're going to be made. They're going to say, hey, you got to get them while the getting's good. Anyway, is there anything that you personally just absolutely have to have, whether it's a product or maybe a food? I mean, is there anything that you just, I got to be the first in line for? Because I just can't ever get my mind to that place with anything, man.
No, I don't think that there's anything that I have to have like that.
Okay, good.
And I think that's like almost like social commentary. Like that'd be a problem if you had to have it. Like you should be able to live without.
No, I appreciate you being sane. So thank you. And to those of you in the chat, I know that none of you would. Okay, admit it though in the chat if you have ever, I don't know, if you've ever run to a shelf, I want to hear from you. Let's see here. What else we got? Oh, I pulled this story because I've had this thought. And when I saw this, it was almost confirmation bias, but maybe there's something to it because the story says, first, here's the headline. This is an NBC News story. So it's obviously true.
Of course.
Recalls have been issued for frozen dumplings, eye ointment, gun safes, and more. See the latest list. At least a dozen major recalls have been announced in the last 6 weeks. And I'm like, see, something's up. And right out of the gate, product recalls are becoming more common in the U.S. The number of recalled products reached a 5-year high last year, according to a recent report, with around 3,300 recalls reported across the automotive, consumer product, food and drink, medical device, and pharmaceutical industries. Why are there so many recalls happening? Why?
Because we don't make quality products anymore. We don't care. Everybody's just like, oh, sorry, there's plastic in your food. Oh, oops, we missed that one. That's our bad. Maybe send those back to us.
Yeah,
right?
Sorry,
but like I go back to, you had to have seen that refrigerator ad that was running on Twitter from like the 1950s. I want to say it was like black and white. And it was like, oh, look at all these super cool things that our refrigerator can do. And it had like a shelf on the door that you could put your fruit and vegetables in that you could remove and take over to the sink and wash them out in it and do the whole thing right there and then put it back. And it was so functional and so good that we're like, why doesn't my fridge do, like, this fridge is better, right? Like,
so you're saying we are regressing as a society?
We 100% are, because if you could find like really old washer and dryers, they would last forever, right? I think there was a story where like somebody had it for like in the family like 70 years or something. I don't need it that old, right? Like it's fine. Mm-hmm. But they didn't have a problem with it because it was built and it was made to work.
So
you go now and our products are disposable because they want you to have it for like 7 to 10 years. And then, oh, sorry, you should probably buy a new one now.
So how long should a refrigerator last? Do you think? By the way, I'm jinxing
longer than what they do now for the price.
I feel like I'm really jinxing this by saying it out loud. but the refrigerator that's in this house is 22 years old.
Because it was probably like at the edge of like things were still okay.
I just feel like it's on borrowed time. And now that I've said that out loud, just wait for the tweet, y'all. By the end of the weekend, I'll have a tweet. Yep, jinxed it.
And then it becomes the garage fridge, and that's the way things go.
That's exactly right. So, then
it just holds beverages in the garage.
Oh, no. So this isn't a longevity thing necessarily, but as soon as, so we're thinking, look, it might be time for a new washing machine, a new dryer. And what really pushed me over the top was during the election season of 2020, right? It was November, December. I'm thinking, all right, I see how this is going to end up playing out. And here come the new EPA rules. I'm running to Home Depot or wherever I ended up going, and made sure to get a washing machine, because when Trump, he changed the water standards and everything, like shower heads, washing machine. But see, we're a banana republic, so what we do is we swing one way on standards, and then we swing the other way, and then back. And so that's the one thing that I did at the end of 2020 was ran out and got a washing machine that specifically says on it, like forget, it's deep water setting or whatever. You're like, yes, that one. I don't want this eco crap. Anyway, it's a different story. I'm talking about standards instead of quality of product, but there you go.
Yeah.
So you ready?
But still, just to be able to have the options that you want too.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just people don't care anymore. That's why. It's just the quality is just not what it used to be. But you should also probably pay them $20 an
hour. Awesome. Hold on. Do you have any ground cinnamon from, I don't even know.
That's a tough one. Ground cinnamon, I would not think would be recalled ever.
Yeah. Wow. Hold on. The reason I'm hesitating is wow. Clearly they all come from the same factory. It's because it's 6 different brands, it looks like. That La Fiesta, La Superior, Marcum, let's see, I don't know. Whatever. If you got ground cinnamon, it's probably time to trash it anyway. It's probably been in your shelf for 30 years anyhow. Johnsonville Polish kielbasa turkey sausages. Careful if you got those. Oh, Trader Joe's soup dumplings. The latest round of recalls. What is it? What's going on with cinnamon? Cinnamon applesauce pouches. Jeep Grand Cherokees. Uh-oh. Hang on. I don't have a Jeep Grand Cherokee, but let me just make sure here what's happening. What are they doing? If you have a 2021 to 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee LS and 2022-23 Jeep Grand Cherokee, period. Oh my gosh. Whatever a steering knuckle is, that sounds serious. But the upper control arms, they're supposed to attach to each other. They may in fact separate, which could cause the vehicles to lose control. Good luck.
No big deal.
Hold on. ADD moment. How are we allowing Jeep to continue to brand a vehicle the Cherokee?
What do the Redskins have to say about this?
Right. Why are sports teams the only targets? Just saying.
Yeah.
Eye ointments. Oh no. You got a Volkswagen?
That sounds serious. That sounds serious. Eye ointments.
Oh,
you don't want that recalled. You don't want that recalled. You're like, oh, don't worry. It's only my eyes, though. Don't worry.
See, I don't use.
So it's okay.
So only child syndrome just was like, I don't use eye ointments. Next. What are we doing here? Hold on a second. What is going on here? Because I don't want to read. I would hate to be like, kill the live stream, start cleaning up all my stack of papers here. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't warn people that acid is coming out of these eye ointment bottles. Okay, here we go. 4 types of eye ointments were recalled due to concerns that they were manufactured in an unsanitary facility. Yeah, well, welcome to New America.
Yeah. Every facility now is unsanitary.
So if you have Equate lubricant eye ointment, that must be the Walmart deal, right? Equate Stye lubricant eye ointment. Oh boy, Think about that. You have a sty. You go and you try to treat it, and the next thing you know,
worse.
You're blind.
Like, oh, sorry, we gave you pink eye to add to that now. Good luck.
Oh, CVS Health Lubricant Eye Ointment and AAC Pharmaceutical Lubricant PM Ointment. Hold on. You know what we're learning from cinnamon and eye ointment is that this crap is all made in the same thing, and you're just paying for the brand name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me get to the Volkswagen here. This doesn't look good because it's 261,000 vehicles. Just a faulty fuel tank suction pump. So you're fine. I bet it doesn't catch fire or anything. It doesn't say. I mean, it doesn't say what happens.
Probably okay.
So, oh wait, no. Oh yeah, it does. Here, on. A fuel leak can increase fire risks and potentially damage a vehicle or harm its occupants. Potentially.
But it's not a Tesla, so you'll be able to get out of it.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's just potentially.
Fine. You can escape.
Queso fresco and cotija. Cojita, thank you.
The cheese.
Cheese.
Delicious.
Because you don't
Maybe not this one, but the others. Delicious.
Let's see what happened here. Hold on. People are getting sick from listeria. So eat up. Cool. Okay, so I saw this meme. Let me get this meme going here because I love this thing. Well, you know what? I should have asked for the entire picture because you'll see this meme, and the way I saw it is whoever posted it said, "I will die for this country," because it says the 10th largest pyramid in the world is a Bass Pro Shops in the U.S. And this is so I looked it up, and that's in Memphis. If you're in Memphis, you're probably very familiar with it. I was not. Was it repurposed? Did it used to be like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame satellite office? Like, what has it always been? Y'all do my job for me in the chat and let me know if it used to be something else, because that's an intense looking store right there, and I feel like I need to go to Memphis on a road trip just to see it for myself. I want to see inside.
That is very, very large. And well, to bring it back to Nebraska, you have your Cabela's off, what is it? I-80.
Well, the problem there is...
But it's not a gigantic pyramid.
Yeah, the problem is, if I'm not mistaken, someone do my job for me in the comments there and look up Sydney, Nebraska and tell me if... I think they closed it down. Because Bass Pro Shops bought, no, maybe they didn't close it down, not the store, but they eliminated all the jobs, and now they're trying to figure out how to employ people, and they're trying to turn. Gosh, I just read an article a few months back, and I've forgotten it because
that was like the only thing for 200 miles.
I know. If you've ever driven through western Nebraska along Interstate 80, you look over and you're like, "Oh my gosh!"
Out of nowhere.
Yeah. It's gigantic. Like, somebody do my job for me and tell me if it's still there or if it was just the, I think it might have just been the corporate jobs, but it was thousands upon thousands of jobs that they were like, hey, I think they offered them the equivalent in the Bass Pro Shops company. Anyway, so I saw that and I thought, come on, 10th largest pyramid in the world is a Bass Pro Shops in the U.S. I mean, don't be ridiculous. Am I right?
Yeah.
So I will tell you where it actually falls on the list if you're ready here. Let's see. Hold on. We're going to make sure we get this right because I have to work off of two lists. Well, I will explain that in just a second. Yeah, that's ridiculous that they call that the 10th largest because, ladies and gentlemen, that's actually the 8th largest pyramid in the world that you're looking at. Bass Pro Shops, Memphis, Tennessee. Okay, so if you just actually go with pyramids, right? Obviously, the Great Pyramid of Giza over in Egypt, it is 454 feet tall. Let's see here. Gosh, I got so much happening here because it's meters, it's feet. There's a lot happening. Bear with me. So Giza, and then there's another one in Egypt that's 2 feet shorter than that. So 454 feet tall, then 448 feet tall. That's what it is. And then somewhere in Indonesia, there's a pyramid It's 387. Hang on. Magic number for Memphis, by the way, is 321. Okay, so we're at 387. Then we're going to go down to the. Wait a minute, Malinak. Hang on. I think I got this list. It would make it so much easier for the listener or the viewer. Oh, wait. Hold on. I got this one. So there is. There's the one over in Egypt, the famous one, the Giza one. If you can see that there,
Yeah,
that's pretty neat
course.
there. Yeah, okay, so we know that one. But I thought I had the list here. Shoot, I do not. So that is awkward. Okay, so number 4, did I say? The Red Pyramid, also in Egypt. Then we get the Bent Pyramid, also in Egypt. So the top 5 there. We're down to 344 feet. What was the magic number in Memphis? Oh, 321. All right, so those are the natural ones. So if you just do the natural ones, that's the top 5. And then...
And I believe that those are in Egypt. That makes sense for that list.
Yeah, 1 was in Indonesia, right? And 4 were in Egypt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then the next one is in Zimbabwe. No, I'm just kidding. It's a different ridiculous list. So if we just go to like the buildings, right? Not the... You got it. The ancient ones. They're calling this a pyramid. See, I wish I had sent in the picture of this. You can't call this building in San Francisco that trans whatever.
Oh, I know. Yeah, the Trans America building.
So they're calling that the tallest
no.
pyramid. Yeah, at 853 feet. Hold on, what was Giza again? 450.
400.
That's cheating. The Luxor Pyramid in Las Vegas is 350.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the Memphis pyramid is at 321. So the Bass Pro Shops clocking in at number 8. I mean, God bless America. Makes you want to go celebrate Independence Day, 4th of July. Let's go with some Zimbabwe beer.
Right.
Well, there's something else in front of me. I have nothing else to talk about. But, we can talk about your hair. Remind us what kind of shampoo you use again. People might want to know this.
A lot of Living Proof products.
Living Proof. Yeah. See, I'm doing the small talk that Bob taught us. Let's see if there's any questions over here. Anybody got any questions here? I'll give you a moment here to throw out your questions here. Stuff we covered, maybe something we should be talking about. Is there anything on your mind, Jill Savage? I know you stay busy over at the Blaze.
Yep. I mean, I was hanging out with Jeffy this morning. I was on the Dace group, and now we're here. So it's a big day. You were
hanging out with Jeffy this morning. You mean like on his Chewing the Fat show, or just like hanging out because you felt sorry for him out in the hall there?
Chewing the Fat.
Okay, that's fine. Very good. Oh, yeah, hold on a second. You know what? I bet Jill has an opinion on this. This is, I don't get this. Trev Alberts, big Husker legend, early 90s. He's athletic director. It's made a lot of changes. He's the one that got the volleyball in Memorial Stadium, 92,003 people. He obviously brought in Matt Rule as the head coach. And he just hightailed it to Texas A&M. There's been some turnover there in the administration as far as the president of Nebraska, and I guess the regents are a mess. But I don't know, man. I don't like it. Do you have any thoughts at all, Jill Savage, on Husker legend Trev Alberts just sneaking out of town and headed to Texas A&M for what is reported to be a bump of salary I'm sorry, I could live on 1.7 million, but apparently 2 million is where it's at down in Aggie land.
Well, 1, no winters. So factor that in.
Okay.
2, I believe, and I don't know this, I don't know what all the details are because so many different schools and all this, but I used to think that A&M used to also offer like more than just your salary money. You also get a lot of perks, I think. They have like all that oil money, right? Like they know they've got it built up. So I think that there are a lot of incentives that they would get for football. And I'm sure the athletic director would also be involved in that. Like Arizona used to have that as well, where they would have like stock options and all this other stuff like on the side that they could throw in. I don't know. Maybe there was just an offer that he couldn't refuse down there. But it's a huge program, right? Like you aside, this is gonna piss off Keith now. Nebraska, it's not the 90s anymore. We're in a different era. So Texas A&M is actually a bigger job than
Close your ears, Lil
Your
Red.
beloved. Yeah.
Close your ears.
So, I tried to at least like put some distance between that question and that part of the answer for you. I was like, well, let's get to the real truth.
I got it. Yeah, we're getting there.
It's a bigger job, and if that's what he wants, then they already ran Scott Frost off, and he was one of the treasured sons, and Trev Alberts, like he probably was like, you know what?
Scott Frost ran himself off.
Couldn't be that far behind.
So honestly, Trev was he was the AD at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. He got rid of their football program. I do remember that from his tenure there. I thought he was going to be I thought Scott Frost was going to be there forever. Our program, we thought we were going to be stable now, and no, bye, Trev.
Are you answering your own question?
Yeah, I'm answering. It's not the 90s anymore, is it?
Oh, okay.
Maybe we'll make a bowl game. So I got a fun fact, and I know you'll appreciate this. The longest drought, or no, I think it's the only. Yeah, it's the only. Hell, I don't know. Y'all look this up. I think it's the only Power 5 school to not make take two. Nebraska has the longest drought of any Power 5 school from making a bowl game. That's what it is. So yeah, so every team in a Power 5 conference, including Vanderbilt, has been to a bowl game more recently than my beloved University of Nebraska, which, look, it's sad to say, but my 4 years there, and this had everything to do with it, by the way, they lost 2 games in 4 years attending school in Lincoln.
I like these years better, personally.
3 national titles. Why do you like these years better? What? These years for Nebraska? Oh, okay, fine. Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh! I'm talking about Nebraska football with an Iowa fan. Oh no! What have I done? What have I done? Why did I even bring this up? I hate your team so much. Anyway.
Yeah.
Boy, we really blew it this in November. But we beat you the November before, so there.
We did nothing.
Yeah, I was there. I'm the guy. I'm the reason. Real quick,
we're great.
Speaking of Nebraska, real quick, something to look forward to here in the NCAA tournament. The University of Nebraska men's basketball team has never, ever, ever won an NCAA tournament game.
Oh.
Could this be the year?
You just have to go get a Cyclone to do it.
Wow. This is too... Stop it. Why did I invite you on here? I'm just looking to see if there's any other questions on here.
But sure, I'll give you one because, that's exciting. They're volleyball school now. It's true.
Yeah, we are. I'm fine with that.
And I respect that.
And they're so young. And oh my gosh, it's going to be a fun ride here. I'm just seeing if there's anything else here. I'm just looking here. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate, obviously, you, Jill, for 98% of the conversation. Kind of unraveled for me at the end there, but thank you for making time. And
you should have known. You should have known that wasn't going to end well.
It didn't even cross my mind.
Are going to ruin you every time. When will you learn?
See, even when you were talking about the Caitlin chick, right? I was just thinking,
it didn't click.
It did. I was just thinking, it's just a basketball thing. I didn't even... Remember, episode 71, somewhere down here, look for the At the Mic conversation episodes. Jill Savage was episode 71, where she talked about her fandom, the University of Iowa, and something that the host maybe should have remembered since he talked to her for an hour for that conversation. Anyway, thank you all for making time. Please share this channel, these episodes. If you're new here, there's a lot to see because a lot of y'all have been watching on Twitter, which I'm so grateful for. I don't care where you watch, honestly. But just know that if you go to youtube.com/atthemicwithkeith, you're going to find all sorts of stuff that we've done that you can go and enjoy and share and catch up on. I wish Twitter would let you post stuff to make it easy to find like a library like YouTube. What the heck? Come on, Elon. X. If I call it X, will you fix it? Anyway. Okay.
Phase 2.
Go enjoy your weekend. I'll be sure to root against Iowa any chance I get. Anyway, go
Hawks.
Big Red. All right, thank y'all. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.